Hello and welcome to Streaming Wars on that hashtag show. We're the show that helps you wade through the endless sea of streaming content. Usually we have a lot to tell you about, but this week I just want to share with you one project that is Amazon's movie Uncle Frank. Set in 1973, Uncle Frank follows Beth's story. She leaves her hometown to attend NYU, where her Uncle Frank is a professor. She soon discovers that Frank is gay and living with his longtime partner Wally, an arrangement that has been kept secret for years. After the sudden death of Frank's father, Beth's grandfather, Frank is forced to reluctantly return home to the funeral with Beth in tow and to finally face the long buried trauma that he has spent his entire adult life running away from. We got a chance to talk to the stars, Lois Smith, Judy Greer, Peter Macdissi, and Sophia Lillis. Check it out. I'm Yael Teagle. Welcome to Streaming Wars on that hashtag show. I'm so excited to chat with you both today.
Thank you.
You're both such recognizable faces. You've been in so many films over the years. What is it that draws you to a project? And in particular, what about Uncle Frank attracted you to these roles?
Well, Alan Ball was the first attraction for this one. He wrote it. He sent it to us. he got together the most wonderful cast to work with. So that's the easiest question.
Yeah, Alan.
What is it that you look for when you choose? You've all both done such variety of things. Is there something particular that you look for, like a writer or director?
Well, a writer director, of course, but also something that reaches one with the material. It's always the material, the people.
I would say the same. I mean, when you read something that moves you or makes you remember something about yourself, that's always something to think about. And then also the cast and the writer director is huge, because you don't want to be working on an independent movie with a bunch of sitting in folding chairs and making no money with people that you hate. It's not worth it.
Awesome. Lois, I gotta ask you about that spider. I can't not ask you about the spider.
I thought the spider did very well.
Yes.
Yes.
The spider's in a breakout room right now.
Yes, it was cleverly constructed.
So it wasn't real.
It was not real.
Oh, okay, great. I was very concerned. This film really touches on, some important themes of family, of being your own person. Is there something in your own life that you drew on, a particular family member or a situation in your family that inspired you?
Oh, both Judy and I have been talking about ants that we remember. And of course, this film and these characters, it brings one to think about your family and your aunts and as Alan was thinking about them when he wrote this family. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for your time.
Thank you. Which Marvel movie is behind you?
It's actually a poster of many Marvel characters.
Oh, cool. Oh, right on.
Great. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Peter, Wally brought a lot of levity to this movie, even in the hardest moments. Are you naturally a humor in tough situations kind of person?
Well, it seems that I am, because Sophia keeps on telling me how funny I am, which I'm not aware of, actually. But
You are.
So I guess I'll take that.
And you got a chance, to see this kind of being made from the start. What was that like?
Well, it was great. It was a labor of love, actually, just from its nascent stages, like from developing the script to casting, because I'm a producer on the movie as well. And I'm Alan's producing partner. So we work close together. And so casting, location, like you name it. So it was like putting the pieces together. It took a long time. It was a lot of hard work. But then seeing the result of it, like just seeing it on screen and seeing it's just like that, it's amazing. Like you've achieved something, you've built something, and it's just like it feels fantastic that you did this. It was definitely a labor of love for me, and it was very important and personal, portraying this Middle Eastern character in a very positive light and a very real way, and him being religious and gay, and that the two coexist. I mean, there was a lot of layers that I was very happy about that we got to bring in this movie, even though it's Frank's sort of journey and story, but nevertheless the supporting actors have their own trajectory as well and their own journey in the movie. So that was very satisfying.
Right. You say it's, Frank's movie, but I feel like it was Beth's movie. It's Beth telling the story.
Absolutely. I mean, it was from her eyes. So, that's a lot of people kept on saying that. Is it Beth's story or a Frank's story? Beth's story or Frank's story? And I thought, well, it's their stories both. I mean, that could happen. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It's both of them, in tandem.
I think it's a story about Frank's relationships with other people. And it's through one of his relationships, his niece's eyes, and she it is sort of her story. It's a growing up story. She has her own, she changes a lot. She grows as a person, and she helps him in the end. And that's just one of his relationships, though. And it is through her eyes, but it is about Uncle Frank and what he's going through. And it's just an outside perspective of it. And with that, you can see him in like one way when he's actually in his home with his family, and then when he's in New York in his own personal home, he's someone completely different, and you kind of like slowly see different parts of him because it's not through his eyes, but it's through someone else's. But it is a bit about Beth, but it's mostly about Frank.
Great. Well, thank you both for chatting with me today.
Thank you. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you again to Lois Smith, Judy Greer, Peter Macdissi, and Sophia Lillis. Uncle Frank will be streaming on Amazon November 25th. And don't forget to subscribe to That Hashtag Show for more Streaming Wars content.